again from Lincoln City Parks and Recreation for another edition of Creative Cuisine, part of our RecKids Virtual Camp Series. Today we're going to be making Groovy Smoothies using a variety of healthy ingredients that you can find around your house. To make our Groovy Smoothies, you will need some fruit. You can use either fresh or frozen, depending on what you have in your house. And if you'd like to buy pre-cut fruit, that's okay too. You're also going to need some liquid. So you can use a milk product like almond milk or soy milk, or you can use regular milk depending on what you drink. Or some people like to use juice, so you can use some pineapple juice from your pineapple can, or you can use some orange juice. You'll also need some yogurt for thickness. You can use whatever flavor you want. Some peanut butter for some protein, a blender to mix everything in, and your cup and your straw if you have one. I love to make Groovy Smoothies. They're a great quick breakfast or awesome fun afternoon snack. So to do kind of our measurement, you can do kind of a 1/4 cup, which is about the handful, adult-sized handful. And you're just gonna kind of put your fruits in, whatever you have. You could use apples, you could even throw some vegetables in there, like some kale or some spinach. Really, it's kind of whatever you want to put in here, it's gonna be delicious. I'm just gonna add, and if you have frozen fruit, that's great. If you don't, I would recommend using some ice cubes, and that'll really help kind of solidify the thickness of your smoothie. So I'm going to use my frozen peaches here as my ice cube. Maybe add in a little bit more blueberry here. Oops, we got some runaway blueberries, that's okay. A couple more grapes, and some honeydew. It's better to add a little bit at a time, and then that way you know if you can add a little bit more. Now I'm ready to add the wet ingredients. You always want to do your fruit first, because that way you know how much space you have left, because liquid is always going to go around the fruit. So I'm using vanilla yogurt. You can use whatever flavor of yogurt that you have. And you're gonna want to add at least a cup, but you can kind of eyeball it and kind of gauge how much you want. You might want a little more, and it might be that you want to add a little bit more once you start to blend. Sometimes with smoothies, it's a little bit of a trial and error to see how much that you need. And sometimes yogurt needs to be stirred, so make sure you give it a good stir because it does settle a little bit. I like to use Greek yogurt, but you can use any yogurt that you have. I've just found that Greek yogurt is a little bit thicker, which means that you have less of a runny smoothie. But it's all about the kind of texture that you like. Some people like a more liquidy smoothie, and some people like a little bit thicker smoothie. It just really is kind of up to you and your preference. Okay, so I have my yogurt. Now we're ready to add our milk. I'm going to use an almond milk, or you can use a regular milk. Or if you don't like dairy, you could just use some orange juice. That's a great one too. I'm also going to throw in some pineapple juice that I had left over from my pineapple. It's always a great idea if you can to use all the ingredients. So with the milk, you just want to pour until you get enough down at the bottom that it's going to pull all of your fruit down to the blades. For a little extra sweetness, I'm gonna add some pineapple juice. And that's pretty good for our liquids. If I need to add more, I can always add more. For a little extra protein, I'm gonna add in some peanut butter. You can also use protein powder if you have that as well. I really like peanut butter. I think it's a great addition to add to anything really, but we're gonna add it to our Groovy Smoothie today. Another great option that I love to add to my Groovy Smoothies is flaxseed. Flaxseed is a great heart-healthy seed that you can usually find in the bulk section at any grocery store. And there's a couple different varieties of flaxseed. So really whatever is best for you. There is our peanut butter. Now we're ready to blend. Groovy Smoothie just looks so delicious. So this is where you can pour as much or as little as you want. And you want to store it in the refrigerator with the lid on, that way it doesn't spill. And then you can always add in more ice or more frozen fruit if you want to thicken it up or solidify it a little bit. It's really up to you, just the consistency that you like to drink your smoothie. Some people like them a little thicker, some people like them a little more like a juice or something like that. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Creative Cuisine. Share your Groovy Smoothie in the comments below. Like and subscribe us on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll see you next time.